live.
We are live. Here we are, bro.
How you doing today?
Doing great, doing great. What you been up to, Dom?
I've been chilling. I've been avoiding some specific Marvel movies.
Yeah, you've been watching the Scorsese films instead. I know what you're doing.
Nah.
Not cinema, not cinema.
Nah, you saw. So, about a week and a half ago, we had Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Quantumania. Cinema, bro.
You know, I was an avid.
Yeah,
hater.
boycotter, bro.
I was an avid boycotter of that movie.
You're better off. That's good. You
So-
made the right choice. I should have went to After Hours, bro.
So, what did you think? What did you think of
Assamania, bro.
Assamania?
Assamania, bro. Just booty, bro. You see MODOK's butt, bro. That's the one great scene.
Alert.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler
Spoiler
alert.
alert, fellas. You will see the mechanized organisms designed only for killing's ass cheeks, bro. Yeah.
What? Killing whose ass cheeks?
No. That's the name of MODOK. MODOK,
Oh, I
right?
thought you said they would kill his ass
No.
cheeks. I was like, yo, that's kind of.
I mean, bro, if Ant-Man shrunk into his ass
it's kinda
cheeks, that would have
disabled.
been the Thanos meme, bro. They would have done it right, you know?
With that into who's.
Thanos,
Yo,
listen,
can we stop?
listen, bro. Thanos' meme, bro. You know that shit, bro? That shit was iconic.
Okay, but why did you say Thanos going into MODOK's ass cheeks?
I did not say that. You misinterpreted what I'm just saying, you fucking dumbass. I said that is a replica of the Thanos meme. You were implying that Ant-Man would be going up MODOK's ass. That's not what happened. They just showed that shit.
No,
when
that's not
Kang,
what I
when
said.
Kang
That's not
put
what
together. Good start, fellas.
Guys, welcome to the worst podcast known to mankind.
Film Bros University,
Welcome to
bro.
class.
Welcome to
what
class.
not to do.
Exactly.
Oh man, nah, I was not. I saw the trailer back in October, and the first thing I was like, nah, this CGI is not it. It's
Dude.
not. It didn't. Nothing about that trailer made me excited for Ant-Man 3, and I was one of the people. You know, I was one of the people that enjoyed the first two Ant-Man movies, and there's a lot of people who do not like Ant-Man.
The second Ant-Man movie, yeah, that one is garbage. I didn't like that one.
Personally, I've seen. Granted, when's the last time I watched that movie? Like 4 or 5 years ago, like around when it came out. I've seen it like twice.
It was like 2019, I think.
I personally had fun with it, but definitely probably maybe looking back if I watched it again.
It actually came out 2018. It was right after Infinity War, so it was
Yeah,
2018.
I remember the comparison where it was like they had like Infinity War was like this big steak dinner,
Right.
and then they were comparing Ant-Man Wasp to like the dollar menu.
Right.
Did I say Ant-Man Wasp?
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah.
Ant-Man Wasp. Nah, so
Anime and the Wasp, bro. Poi would love that shit.
I did not go see this movie. It's just, to me personally, this whole thing with Marvel right now and spending $500 million on a movie basically and not giving us any quality, I'm not going to be supporting that. And after Wakanda Forever, and granted, Wakanda Forever, right? They had a fucking, like, such a challenge ahead of them.
Yeah.
After, obviously, the tragedy of Chadwick Boseman passing, which was unbelievable. I remember the day it happened. I couldn't.
That was in
believe it.
2020, but that's what that was like part of it. Where everyone knew this is gonna be a shit year, dude.
Yeah, that was
This
ridiculous. That was heartbreaking when I read those articles. I remember when the first came out. So like Chadwick Boseman and that whole crew. Ryan
Coogler.
Yeah,
Coogler.
Ryan Coogler.
It's coming out with Creed 3. Well, like,
No, he
Michael
wrote
Yeah,
Creed 3. So
Yeah.
that's
he's not directing. Michael B. Jordan.
But
directing.
no, it was tough. I can't imagine like coming to terms only with losing someone and then having to make the movie.
Gotta keep Disney happy, bro.
Like at the same time, it's crazy. So like props to them for getting it done, but I don't know everything about the behind the scenes, but it definitely got like Marvelified. Like it was just like that whole thing was upsetting to me because personally I didn't really enjoy the film. I thought there was a lot of issues, and good for the people who went into that movie and like enjoyed it. But to me, it
has a fan base.
It was very underwhelming comparing to the first Black Panther, which I think is like a certified like superhero classic like that. It was very saddening, but at the same time, it's hard to criticize something that like if you were put into that situation, like how well would you have done?
It's
You know what I mean?
difficult. It's difficult. You gotta like that's a hard thing to write around. It's something that has to be addressed, and I think they addressed it well. It's just that the other shit in the movie they didn't do like as powerfully. I feel like, you know.
I thought the opening scene was really powerful. I thought they did a good job. Everything that had to do with commemorating him, I feel like they did a good job. It's just the way they handled Shuri's character was very like. They took an easy way out because they're going. So with the way I saw it, I kept thinking of The Last of Us Part 2. But the difference here is this. That game made an undeserved decision, in my opinion, to kill off Joel.
Right.
And spoilers for Last of Us Part 2. If you haven't played
yeah,
that
you're not ahead of the
game.
spoilers. The spoiler game.
Oh yeah, season 2 of The Last of Us. Joel fucking dies in the first episode.
Tragic, bro.
Season 2.
Tragic, bro.
Tragic, bro.
It's not gonna be fun, bro. I can't wait for the internet outrage when that happens again.
Nah, it was just so I kept thinking when in terms of Wakanda Forever, like I kept thinking about it in like a Last of Us Part 2 kind of way where like they were referring to this cycle of violence, and that if Shuri were to go down that path, it would have been tragic. Like, it would have just led to more tragedy, more pain, and more violence. But the thing with that is The Last of Us Part 2. And this, first off, you can't compare like the Joel decision to this because they had no fucking choice in whether or not they were gonna get rid of Black Panther. I mean, there's a debate whether or not they should have recast it and stuff like that, but that's something else. But they were left in a very tough spot.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a problem with Shuri taking over because I felt
it happens in the comics too.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It wasn't that crazy to me that Shuri took over. I wasn't upset with that. I was actually very almost intrigued. Why they hid that in the first trailer was kind of weird, and then they just revealed it in the second one.
Right.
It was weird to me. I wanted them to go all the way through with her character because they were going through this interesting thing with her grieving and dealing with this pain of losing her brother and losing the king.
And they had that fantastic sequence with her when she takes the heart-shaped herb and she sees Killmonger.
Yeah.
And then they were going through this like really interesting route and they swerve because they make her a hero. But there was something to be missed where you're sort of like let's see her like fully like feel that pain fully.
And what upsets sorry for interrupting, but what upsets me about that scene is when you know what happens, it feels like they just wanted him as a cameo.
Right.
If they went, because me personally, Shuri lost her brother, which is already like the king of Wakanda, and
her dad and her mom.
Yeah, and no, I'm getting to that. And so like, and then this guy Namor, which I feel like wasn't a very well. They had good ideas for him. They had very good ideas for Namor, but they didn't flesh it out enough. It felt like they were stating just. Yeah, this, but they didn't go too in depth on him. And though I feel like the one of the best scenes where they sort of did was showing the city and like all the civil. That was the best scene. That was when I like you truly feel anything for that character.
Avatar 2 still did it better though. Let's not lie. Let's not lie to ourselves.
Yeah, it's funny they came out at the same time.
Dude, that's crazy, right? Nah. 2 water related fucking movies.
Nah, but oh, by the way, we have like, I think like 15 more minutes, so this is gonna be a very.
We're gonna be rushing this.
Very short first episode. But I feel like if somebody loses their brother, and then the person challenging you during this grieving process, and you're dealing with all this pain, and then they just kill your mom in the they just kill Shuri's mother, and he does it in the most heartless way, where he's like, mourn your losses, and then he just flies away, you know?
With his little fucking wings on the leg.
Yeah, fucking
boop, boop, boop.
No, that was interesting. His like character was interesting, but they didn't. I feel like they didn't do enough of it. But like, I can't buy into the fact that there's no way Shuri just dealt with all this and is not gonna kill Namor, because this was the worst opportunity to go against the backlash that these movies have received, where they always kill off the villain.
Right.
Because I was like, yes, Namor could lead to other things, but then
he's a big character.
If you want him to lead into other things, do not use him for a story that requires something else. Like, there has to be... I mean, I don't know everything about the comics. I don't know if that character could have been replaced for the story that they put Shuri in, but it was like, I felt like she should have killed him in the end. That would have been this more challenging thing for the audience. Is like, well, who's our hero now? Like, who is our hero? Who has our hero become?
Right.
You know, because they always, I feel like a lot of these movies now, they just take this easy way out with their characters, and it would have felt more natural if Shuri felt this rage and all this stuff, and she kind of fell into the Killmonger almost like mindset.
Well, you got to remember also that in Captain America: Civil War, we had Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther playing this revenge-fueled like character, and that was like done really well. And like there was I actually found him the most badass in Civil War. Where I was like, holy fuck! Like this dude is like coming after Winter Soldier. He's trying to kill him, and then later they have that great moment with Zemo where he's like, vengeance has consumed you. It's consuming them. I'm not letting it consume me too. And he sheathes the claws and he lets Zemo live. And I guess they were trying to tie Shuri's character along with that, but if she sees Killmonger in that heart-shaped herb scene, I almost think that I would think that she'd be like a darker character in that regard, but instead they, like you said, they played it to see Michael B. Jordan again, instead of having that arc fulfilled.
Yeah, I think that's another thing is like, they already went through that,
right,
with Black Panther.
Repeating the storylines.
So now that you say that, I completely forgot about that. And Civil War is one of my favorite MCU movies. Yeah, they repeated that, and it's tough because at the same time, like, yes, they could have done that, and I'm sort of confused as to why. Maybe the studio got involved, or it was Ryan Coogler.
Who knows?
Whoever wrote that. I mean, who's the writer again for Wakanda Forever?
I think it might be the same writers from Black Panther, but it's good to check.
Let me see the writers. Yeah, it was Ryan Coogler and Joe Robert Cole.
But I get your critique. Basically, your thing with Wakanda Forever is that it almost feels like, besides, I guess, Shuri's mom's dying, there feels like there wasn't enough of a consequence with all of Namor's actions and all the stuff that went down.
Because it's not even that, because there's aspects like, it's yes, there's not enough consequence, but there's also the bigger issue is you're not taking us anywhere new.
Right.
You're not moving the story along in an interesting direction. Because I feel like, here's the thing. With the first section of the end, with the Infinity Saga, they were planning out all this different stuff. But I feel like that whole first part of the universe had a better sense of setting up their individual characters, rather than now the focus of almost everything in the MCU is to set up this bigger thing, this end fight.
Brother, it's like, you should have seen Quantumania, man. If we're talking about no consequences and and just more and more setup without consequences, with just as a filler movie, Quantumania is probably one of the worst offenders of that in an MCU film. So Wakanda Forever is actually, I consider that movie like better, like just in terms of like stuff actually going down in the movie. Like, spoilers for Ant-Man and Quantumania, but like, dude, none of like the main characters had any consequences. None of them. They all got out of there. They all survived. And you just think, dude, if you're setting up Kang as like this huge MCU villain, how do you not like have us suffer any consequences?
And in Kang, what was in, because the thing is, when I saw Kang was the villain in Ant-Man, I was like confused. I was a little bit confused. I was like, something crazy has to happen. And as you said, nothing really did. But my favorite thing about Kang, and what made me look forward to like maybe the future MCU, I feel like the first part of the Phase 4 was decent. Like, as much as we should talk Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I felt like at least that did a lot of, like, they started almost getting a little darker and a little bit more jaded, and then like who these characters can be, like with the what's the U.S. agent?
USA agent.
When he like they were going to a whole bunch of things, but the thing about Loki, which was so, a lot of people don't like the finale, which I love, because Kang is like,
better finale of the shows.
He's like, hey, you can kill me, and I'll pop up tenfold.
Yep.
And it was like the most scariest. It's the scariest thing.
Yep.
As they went, it was just the decision. I forgot, what's the name of the other Loki? The
Sylvie.
Yeah, the decision they make with that was bone chilling. Like, right. It's so scary the way they go about
it's
that.
Probably one of the best like Marvel cliffhangers that I've seen. Like when he looks up and sees Kang's statue and he's like, "Yo," like he's just like, dude.
Because but that did a better job of setting up Kang as this like, how the fuck are you gonna stop me?
Right.
I'm everywhere, bitch. I'm everywhere, bitch. Like, I'm coming for everything.
You got the Creed 3 like energy, bro. Nah, but yeah, no. In Quantumania, you get like
it was crazy. I couldn't believe. I remember watching that because you told me to finish it before No Way Home.
Yeah.
But when I watched it, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, dude.
Like after that, I was like, this is fucking.
No,
nuts.
I legit like told you like to rush watching Loki because I was like, I think this might tie into the multiverse thing that they're building up. So watch the ending of Loki. But yeah, no, you have like slivers of that with Kang in Quantumania. Like you have some moments where like Jonathan Majors is trying to pull this shitty script up and he's like acting his ass off. He's like trying to do like these great little scenes, but he doesn't have enough to work with just because they're too afraid of consequences. They're too afraid of making any big decisions that'll that might impact future Ant-Man stories. Like dude, they had so many characters. They had Hank Pym, Hope. They had Scott Lang. They had the daughter, and none of the characters that we care about had any consequences. None of them. They all got away scot-free and they were all chilling, and there's like a fun little moment at the end that you don't know about where he has like Scott Lang has like a quick existential crisis where he's like, oh wait, he said that if I defeat him then there's gonna be huge problems for like the multiverse. Did I just kill everybody by killing Kang? Like he has like this little like scene, but it's a cop-out. It's a cop-out to any of like the fucking like the other things that they could have done that really hammers home even one Kang, because there's an infinite amount. Even one Kang is a problem for our heroes, and they didn't go through with that, and that's a problem. Because fucking, if Ant-Man can defeat Kang, bro, how are we supposed to take Avengers Kang Dynasty seriously? We'll have to see when the movie comes out.
Check the cam real quick.
Check the cam. Let's see. Are you guys still seeing this? This is hot shit.
We got 2 minutes.
We got 2 minutes. Okay,
to finish off this conversation. To connect it back to where we started with the Black Panther Wakanda Forever, there was these articles coming out recently that the Marvel VFX artists claimed that Ant-Man 3's CGI suffered to Wakanda Forever, like, and them being greedy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But like the funniest shit about that is there's so much shit CGI in Wakanda Forever. It's fucking hilarious. That like you. How bad is it? Like, if they're saying like they were greedy about like how bad was the CGI in Ant-Man? Because I have.
I mean, there were a couple of moments where you could where it's like it's fine, but then dude, there's some scenes where you wouldn't believe it. She's like touching this like quantum like alien thing, and she's touching it, and it looks like she's just touching air that she's just like trying to like act, and she can't like act like this is Janet. This is like the older Michelle Pfeiffer's character, and she's like holding the stuff, and you're just like fucking dying. Like me and Poi were watching this shit, just like laughing our asses off, and like it was ridiculous because she's just sort of like it just didn't capture the world.
What had better CGI, Quantumania or Pathan?
Oh man, you got me there. Let me see. I don't know. I guess with Pathan, I was much more willing to forgive its CGI because I was much more invested in the fucking consequences of that movie.
I can't even lie. That movie had some of the most creative shots that Marvel has not been doing at all, and with so much of a lower budget. When the shotgun in that movie was flipping in midair, was perfect. Like I love that. It was crazy. That was
but like, dude, there was so much like shockingly edgy stuff in that movie, and it just made me like care about the characters. I was like, whoa, like the stuff with like the pregnant girl, like and oh, dude, it's terrible. Pathan is a random Bollywood movie. If you're interested in in having a bizarre time with your friends, check that movie out.
Yeah, that's fun. Poi hated it though.
Poi hated it. Yeah,
Poi fucking hated that movie.
But Poi
can't have fun with shit like that.
No, because Poi he's he prefers a lot more of like just like the actual the stakes are like much more like serious, much more like real, and Pathan is sort of like just like a crazy but like jokingly sort of like shot, and sort of like it's not a movie that you take too seriously.
I appreciate the creativity of the action.
Right.
To wrap this up.
Oh yeah, we got 2 minutes left.
We got
2 minutes.
Like 30 seconds left. Okay, I appreciate creativity in terms of the action sequences rather than the lack of creativity in the MCU and then like the shit CGI. So like,
and they used to have that with Ant-Man. They used to have that with the early Ant-Man movies, like some
with
creative
the train,
fight scenes.
Final battle in the first one. So yeah, the MCU was falling apart, and we hope they can pick up.
Dark way of putting it.
Yeah. So until next time, guys.
Signing off.
we fucking suck at this shit.